You know my style. It's acrostic, it's haiku, it's trash.
Well, with that, rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome to My Bad Poetry, a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, or even yesterday. Always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave, and I am blown away because Aaron did that whole thing with his eyes closed, like
I've
he had it memorized.
memorized it. It's taken me,
What?
what, 20 years?
I at 25, but yeah,
Yeah.
impressive, sir.
Well, thank you. We had a guest who unfortunately needed to reschedule, and that's totally fine. So, Dave, how about you get us into the realm of bad poetry
I
with
would love to.
whatever you've written today?
Yes, yes. Oopsie doopsie poopsie.
Did you delete it?
No, but I was scrolling on my phone to get to it. I accidentally typed a word randomly in the middle, and I don't know. Okay, I see it. Never mind. Okay,
That would
bye.
have been a fun game.
Right? What doesn't fit? Because to be honest, none of it does. So this is a poem called Something's Not Right. It's in my gut. I feel it in my heart of hearts. My left elbow knows. My mind can't wrap around it. I sense it in my bones. From the top of my head to the bottom of my toes, the truth is in my patella. I just got goosebumps. A shiver ran down my spine. There's a tightness in my sartorius muscle. My kidney is not sure. My midichlorians felt a disturbance in the force, and my mitochondria are switching to solar.
Hey.
The look on your face was just, do I actually have to talk to this guy for an hour?
Well, I'm just you took me on a journey, Dave.
I know.
I'm very curious as to what inspired this work.
Yes. So, I was thinking about, well, I have a painting in my office of a heart, and
Okay.
it's kind of graphic. Like it's kind of bloody and stuff.
Okay.
But it's like it's a painting about how we feel emotions and how we anthropomorphize these things. So I was thinking about, you feel something in your heart, but you don't. You can feel it in your bones. You can sense it because you get a tingle in your spine or goosebumps or whatever. It's in your gut. So why can't you expand that to other things? Because, like, you know how some people will say, like, oh, rain's coming because I
Right.
feel it in my hip. I had
Right.
surgery on it, so it's sensitive to pressure. So
Mm-hmm.
why can't it be my patella or a tightness in my sartorius muscle?
Yeah. So, give me a quick lesson here. Where is that?
It's across the back of your leg. It's called the seatbelt muscle because it goes across your quads and holds them all in place. And
Oh,
it's one that will always stick in my head because my father, who's a doctor, wanted to name
Nepo
one of
baby.
his
Sorry.
sons. I know, right? Nepo baby. I'm in ministry, dude.
Right. Continue.
Um, he wanted to name one of my brothers or myself Sartorius,
It's a cool
or
name.
Sart for short.
That's less cool.
I know, right?
It rhymes with shart.
Correct. That's like that Simpsons joke. They're trying to pick out the name for their son, and Homer keeps rhyming things with it, and says, "Oh, we can't call him that because they'll say this, or this." And Marge suggests, "How about Bart? Bart, Art, Cart? Yeah, that sounds good."
So you were trying to explore the seed of the emotion and push the boundaries of this. You didn't reference your Splachna, though.
I was just gonna say, you should be proud of me. I didn't say Splachna. For those of you who don't know, that's the Greek seat of the emotions. It's your guts. It's your innards,
Your bowels.
your bowels. You can feel it in your butt. Is that
Um,
not what it
that
means?
no, that's not it. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You kind of had a bit of a rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
What was the rhyme scheme there? Because I thought
None.
elbow. Oh, okay. Because you had elbow and then you had bone, and I was like, oh, you missed it with toes. But then you came
Oh,
back to
bones and toe.
toes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you had elbow, bones, toes. You had that O sound repeating.
yeah. And patella and spine. I would call it a near rhyme, right?
My favorite was mitochondria and midichlorian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
I think that is my favorite line. The and my mitochondria are switching to solar because it is the least sensical thing I have ever written.
But that was what elevated it for me. Like you were doing your kind of listicle fun
Hmm.
poems that you do, and then you make this like offhanded Star Wars reference, which is fun and
Yep.
good. And then you just completely turn everything on its head because I thought you were going to say the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell because we all
Yeah.
know that. That's essential
Duh.
knowledge for
Yeah.
life in this world. And yet you run with that assumption because with that word association, you don't have to tell us that. You can just
Right. You
tell
know,
us it's going to solar.
it's going straight from ATP to so. Oh no, ATP is muscles.
I honestly could not tell
Okay.
you, but I do.
Adenosine triphosphate.
Okay, good for you, Dave. So,
Again, it's that look of, do I have to talk to this jerk?
well, well, Dave, we have two options here.
Okay. We can give up.
We could give up. We could just call it
Hmm.
quits and just wait till 2 weeks time because we're not recording next week.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, but or we can read. I have poems that I wrote for an assignment on the Vietnam War
Oh,
for
gosh.
a class. Yep.
So are they pro-imperialism or anti-communist
I would
or
say
what
they're
direction?
I would say they're pretty protesty to
Hmm.
war.
Oh.
Yeah. I'd say it's a little critical of our involvement there.
Ah.
What do you think?
Well, Aaron, I think the only responsible thing to do is to give peace a chance.
Ooh, okay. So there are within this collection titled Vietnam poems in this Word document.
Okay.
We have one called The Draft, and we have one called The Home Front.
Mm.
Let's do the draft.
So to clarify here,
Hmm?
this is not a rough draft.
Oh,
This is a
no.
draft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is
Okay.
not me
Okay.
advocating for us to start the draft again. Let me be
We
clear.
don't know that yet.
I
We haven't
did
hear the poem yet. We haven't
her,
hear the poem
but I
yet.
did just utter the sentence, let's do the draft, which may come off as me being very pro draft. So,
I'm gonna clip that later.
yeah. So let me just be clear. We're going to read a poem called The Draft that is not, in fact, a draft, nor is it pro draft, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
It's post draft. Because you said
Pro.
pro,
Yeah. I get.
pro,
Yeah.
like versus. I'd like to take this time to apologize to our listener. I feel so terrible for you. I'm so sorry about what Aaron does to you, does to us. I feel a kinship between myself and the two people who listen. Thank you for suffering through this with me, and I apologize.
Are you done?
Probably.
Okay. This is called The Draft.
Oh.
Okay. The Grim Reaper is grinning tonight as we are assigned our numbers of death. Our lives are put in one large game of chance, a lottery that does not make winners, but caskets of its contestants. Why must the government play with fate? Our lives are their checker pieces. Vietnam is their playing board. 102, 58, 113, 86. Numbers that will make you hate the day you were born. They hold your life in the digits. Numbers that tie you to a path not intended for you. The war takes many victims, and numbers are its guillotine.
Not guillotine.
I suppose it's a double L in French. It should be a yeah. Okay.
I know, again, our French listener will be very upset with you.
That's true.
I don't hate it. Those numbers don't make any sense, though.
Yeah, explain why.
Weren't they 6-digit numbers that you were given?
I honestly have no clue. Let's do some history learning here.
Now it's time to look at Google and see what Google can tell us about the Vietnam draft.
What did you do? What did you do?
The first birth date drawn that night assigned the lowest number, 001.
Aha! I was right.
Yeah, they're 3-digit numbers, so you're still technically wrong.
But anyway, yeah, so I'm curious if I pulled these numbers from, like, people I knew.
Right.
Or if I just literally picked them out of the air.
This is going to be an interesting question for you.
Okay.
Did we ever have to sign, like, a selective service card or something?
I had a card in my wallet through high school.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what's happened to it since, but I used to have a card that...
I don't know that I did. And I feel like that could be an issue.
This is truly a bummer of a show. We need to do...
This is a very...
Okay, maybe I find a different poem and we start over.
Nope. This is what we're doing. So I'm going to make fun of you for the fact that you gave 4 numbers, 2 of which are 2-digit numbers.
So I needed a 0 ahead of it?
You needed the 0 there.
Got it. So I clearly didn't do my research here.
No.
Yeah.
Well, but this was before Google, and you didn't even have a computer growing up in the Maldives.
I feel like those people in the Maldives should be insulted.
I don't know where the Maldives are. Is it in Spain?
Is it in the Mediterranean somewhere?
I think you're the Mediterranean. It's not the Mediterranean.
Okay.
Is it the Mediterranean? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, this is now a geography podcast.
We are spinning our wheels here.
Spinning something, I don't know. I will say I do like playing with fate. Our lives are their checker pieces. Vietnam is their playing board. It's a well-trod metaphor of, like, that's how all wars have been throughout human history, is the people who cause the problems are sitting safe at home, and then they send people in like a pawn on a chessboard.
Yeah. I capitalized fate.
Ah. Playing with the nature of fate. The humanity or inhumanity
The divinity
of fate. I hate you.
I mean, I capitalized Grim Reaper as well.
Yeah.
When did the Grim Reaper get its name?
I don't know.
It's a famous psychopump, right? I mean, we've talked about psychopumps in the past.
I don't know that it's actually a psychopump.
Ooh.
Psychopumps bring you to the afterlife. I thought the Grim Reaper just shuffled us off our mortal coil.
Isn't that in one way bringing us into the afterlife? Showing up and scything us with their spirit scythe thing?
I think it originally came from, if I remember correctly, Muppet's Christmas Carol, where the third ghost is in like a hooded cloak. And yeah, I think that's where it originates. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. You don't know.
I don't know. So you joked about the Christmas Carol, but the full Grim Reaper appearance of hooded skeleton, black robe, and scythe has a similar look to the classic
Muppet
1843
Christmas Carol.
A Christmas Carol.
Nope. No, you forgot the Muppet part on that.
The term Grim Reaper was only first emerged in English print in 1840s. So, all this to say, me citing it within a poem about the Vietnam War was not a what's that term when you use something?
Anachronistically?
Yes, not not that you worried, but I was for a second.
Well, I mean, the Vietnam War, again, did happen before Muppet Christmas Carol came out.
So I should have called it like The Angel of Death is Grinning Tonight. It probably would have had a better impact than Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
I feel like Grim Reaper is more comedic tone. Now, at least nowadays, but
What was it? There was a Cartoon Network show, like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy or something.
yeah.
Two kids who befriend the Grim Reaper. I wonder if it... So, like, the Grim Reaper is a Western idea. Is there a similar concept in Eastern areas? So, like, could it have been... But then would that be placing the death on...
A culture that we were imperializing
Yeah.
upon?
Because maybe Grim Reaper is right here. That it fits because it's our Western death.
Deep, Dave.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And yet I use the French guillotine. That
I don't get that.
that
I don't
probably
get that at all.
no, that should have been. And it's not the numbers itself that kill you,
Right.
which I think I jumped the gun on that because like it's what puts you in harm's way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, like, and for many it was a death sentence, which is unfortunate and
Yeah.
tragic. But I think the numbers are the guillotine is a failed metaphor. That is not what I should have gone with. And I'm trying to think of what it would be.
I mean, doing something like counting down the days of death or counting down the days of your life.
Well, not even that. In that I wasn't referring to like the clock ticking. I was referring to your literal draft number. So like that didn't count down the days.
But I feel like that could have been an interesting thing to explore, that you talk about numbers of death, but assigned by date of birth.
Oh.
Like, you could have done something with that, like the...
What once was your cradle is now your grave. I mean, cradle to grave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Counting.
Because it is pushing people based on the day they were born. Because, like, you kind of get there, the numbers that will make you hate the day you were born. But it doesn't make you hate the day you were born. It makes you hate the day you were born. The date.
The date.
Like, I think there's something to be done there.
Right. Because it's not like a Job cursing of the day you were born.
Yeah.
Or the night you were conceived. It's a cursing of the date on a calendar.
Yeah.
Which feels different. It's not you don't want to lose your life. You don't want to curse God and die. You want to just get away from that date.
Right. It's the value of the day that you were born versus the disharmony of the date you were born.
Yes. Do better at high school, Aaron.
Science. Got it.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
It's not. It's. I mean, it's a decent high school assignment. It's better than the stuff I put in my private journal. A little.
Yeah. I feel like you deal better with structure. Like, when it's your definition of what you're going to do, it's tough. But, like, the assignments that we've read from you, or, like, when your published poetry that's working to a brief, like, I feel like that gives you the balance that you need.
Right. When I'm left to my own devices, it's bad.
I didn't say it.
I need scaffolding.
I thought it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I know it.
I need a targeted assignment. I get
Yeah.
that, and I actually
Right.
will. I'll acknowledge that in more than just poetry.
Yeah.
If I'm given like I have to do like a devotion or something that's not from like the lectionary, I don't know what to
Mhm.
write. I don't know what to say because I don't have.
Go to the daily lectionary, dude.
You see, that's a great idea.
I
Had I
know,
thought
right?
of that? No.
I do
Yeah.
think that's funny because I'm right there with you. Like when I have to write a newsletter article
Yeah.
or when I'm writing anything, the first thing I do, I'm sitting in that chair right back there
Uh-huh.
and I look around my office. And it's like this
Yes.
why am I looking for inspiration in a room that has just like white walls and art that I've had up for 8 years?
Hmm.
So, dear listeners, today's podcast is brought to you by The Daily Poet, day by day prompts for your writing practice, written by Kelly Russell Agadon and Martha Solano. You can find it at Two Sylvia's Press.
I love how you're posing. Like
You're not recording the video? We don't
I'm.
post this to YouTube?
I could. I just
You
never have in
I
the past. Yeah.
I literally just opened the book randomly. June 9th. The prompt is called scaffolding. I
We have to end it. We have to end this week.
mean, that's
That's
just
okay.
witchcraft, science, the Holy Spirit. I got no idea.
We're gonna end this week with the words of a true poet. This week coming to us from Sara Teasdale. This is her poem, There Will Come Soft Rains.
Okay.
And starts with brackets, wartime. There will come soft rains and the smell of the ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling with their whims on low fence wire. And not one will know of war. Not one will care at last when it is done. Not one would mind, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone.
Hmm. Kind of it reminds me of like all of the discourse around climate change and how we're destroying the planet. And it's like there's some truth there, but also the planet's going to be fine without us. If we destroy it past the point of humans being able to survive, the planet's still going to be here. We're just hurting ourselves.
And our fellow fairy creatures and other
Yeah.
things. Anyway, this has been My Bad Poetry.
Now go write your own bad poetry and then probably read some good books that like help you either think about the world in a different way or completely distract you from the horrors that is 2025.
Rhyme free doesn't matter to me.